Oh my goodness, I have never been late for my own live. I had a new massage client, and I thought scheduling her at 10:30. I thought scheduling her at 10:30 would be plenty of time, but I got a little gabby after the massage. She was interested in Plus, and I'm not going to pass up that opportunity to share nutrition with somebody, right? I was hoping she had time in her schedule that she could stay and join live this cooking demo, but she had some errands to run, so off she went. And here I am. So if you come on, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. If you watch me later, hashtag replay, that would be great. And I will post this video. It'll be here live in the Facebook group, but I'm also going to post it a few other places so you can share it with family and friends, or just invite them to the Facebook group. I'm getting excited for my 5-day challenge, which is going to start August 22nd. We're going to look at finding our inner healer when you get that diagnosis or injury and you just don't feel like yourself anymore. You're still in there. We're going to work together and find that person who can make us whole again. Not that we're not whole. We wouldn't be standing, breathing, living, walking around if we weren't. All right, so let's get cooking. Today we are going to make, I'm going to expand this a little bit. And then hopefully if there are any comments, I'll be able to see them below. All right, today we're going to make quinoa avocado corn soup. It's one of my favorite go-tos. It's good hot or cold. I always have it hot when I make it, obviously. But then the leftovers go in the fridge, and my son Dan used to always like to eat it with chips, like dip. I still heat it up, or you could throw it on a baked potato, or you could do lots of things with it. Get creative. It's food. What was the one thing we wanted to do when we were kids? We were always told not to do. Play with your food. We were always playing with our food. So we kind of got that message to not play with it, and I'm here to tell you it's fun to play with food. It's fun to mix up the colors, it's fun to mix up the flavors, and whatever it takes to get it in your body. So anyway, we're going to make quinoa avocado corn soup, which is super, super simple. And then I was requested to demo a plant-based dessert. So we're going to make avocados are the theme today. Avocado chocolate mousse, which is so good and so simple. And you know, the last time I made it, I wanted to share some of it with a friend, and I didn't know how much she would want to eat because she had surgery and she wasn't eating very much. So I used my little ice cream scoop and I put them on a cookie sheet, wax paper, parchment paper, a plate, whatever you have, and threw them in the freezer. And so they were just little balls like that of chocolate mousse. They were so good. And, you know, my husband's big on wanting something sweet in the evening. I don't know if they had dessert. I'm going to have to ask him if they had dessert every night after dinner, if that was how they finished their family meal together. But he's always looking for something sweet after dinner. And energy bites are good. Muffins, doesn't usually go for the muffins. Popsicles that we made a couple weeks ago, he's been loving having those in the freezer. And then those little mousse balls, even though he's not big on chocolate, they have peanut butter in them, and I think that calms down the chocolate for him. So anyway, I keep getting this action needed sign popped up. I don't know what to do with that. So let's get busy cooking. I have everything out, so it shouldn't take too long. First thing we need to do, I don't know if you've cooked with quinoa or not. I already have it measured out. I usually buy mine at Trader Joe's. You can get it at Kroger as well. I like to buy the tricolor, just makes it more interesting. And a really fine mesh strainer, because you want to rinse it before you start using it. Something about quinoa, you either like it or you don't. And it can taste a little soapy. I'm hoping that water running isn't too annoying. And I'm rinsing it. And then um, I have a cup of quinoa. So I'm going to put 2 cups of water in the pan and get it. Or no, I'm not. I'm using the vegetable broth. Forgot what I was doing. So I got this size pot, got this vegetable broth. I don't use low sodium because they put other things in the low sodium that I'm not interested in, like oil, sugar, MSG, yeast extract, where this one has more sodium in it, but I don't put any other salt in the dish, so it works out fine. So the whole thing, 4 cups of vegetable broth. There we go. It's all in there. And then the cup of rinsed quinoa goes in there. And then I'm just going to put it on to cook 15 minutes. That's the beauty of quinoa. It's not like rice where it takes longer to cook. Got the front burner, get a spoon, give it a little stir. I'm going to turn a light on. Ah, hello. Good morning. It feels like it wants to rain. It hasn't rained yet. I went out and watered. I'm probably chasing the rain away. All right, so that's cooking. I'm going to open up the recipe so I can read the recipe to you, and then as the quinoa gets cooked, I will add the other ingredients to it. So you can use chicken broth. I use vegetable broth. You can even add animal protein to this dish if you want to. I add black beans, and the original recipe did not have black beans. I think I added edamame before, but I really like it with black beans. It goes along with the Mexican flair. So it's 1 cup of quinoa, 4 cups of chicken broth or vegetable broth, a cup of frozen corn, 1/3 of a cup of chunky salsa. What's 1/3 of a cup? I put in probably 2/3 of a cup. And then chop up an avocado and chop up some cilantro, put in some lime juice and some black beans. I don't use the whole can of black beans. It seems like too many, but I use probably 1/2 to 2/3 of a can. So yesterday I made spicy black bean hummus, and I used a can plus a little, so I've got that left over for the soup. So that's that recipe. And like I said, while the quinoa is cooking, we'll make the chocolate mousse. I have all those ingredients out. I just need to get my little food processor because it'll be easier. And I have chocolate chips, and I bought these 72% cacao because they don't have any dairy in them from Kroger. A lot of times I use Enjoy, but I had these in the closet, and they're bigger chunks, and we're just melting them, so we don't really care. So I'm going to go. My friend's recipe calls for oil so that it doesn't stick, but I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of plant milk, and I just happen to have almond open. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in with the chocolate chips, stir it up, and then put it on. I think I'll do half power, 30 seconds. Power level 5. There you go. And I'm going to get my food processor out. I haven't had a new massage client for a while, and so, we had to do the history and just find out exactly what it was that she was hoping to accomplish today during her massage. It's funny how you meet people in your life and then you don't see them in your life for a couple of years, and then poof, they pop back up again. see. Let's get the spatula out. You know, I was watching some people's cooking reels, and I was like, maybe that's what I need to do. But I don't know how to do that. If anybody does, and you would prefer that I speed through these recipes rather than having this time together and chatting, let me know. Ooh, it's melted. 30 seconds, half power. A fourth of a cup of chocolate chips. In my book, the darker the better. And 2 tablespoons of plant milk. And it's ready to go. So I'm going to set that aside. Got the food processor out. Next thing we need are the avocados. 2 avocados. So I'm going to cut those up and throw them in the food processor and get them chunked up. I love cutting avocados. I know people have injured themselves cutting them because they were too hard, and it's difficult when they're not exactly ripe. I've heard you can get them ripe by putting them in the microwave, but I have never done that. So I don't know if it works or not. I know when I bring them home from the store, I just let them sit on the counter. I don't put them in the fridge until they get really soft. And when I'm holding this in my hand, cutting it, I'm very careful to not go through that back skin. So I just cut across this way. You've probably seen how to cut an avocado before. Cut that way, and then I go back and cut this way. Makes nice chunks, and then I just put it in the food processor. Let's see, I need a spoon. I'm gonna have food when we get done. Lunch. This one's a little less ripe than I would like it to be, but I definitely don't want it to be brown. Once I get this done, I guess I could have had this done already. I started to say before about this person who came for massage today. She took care of my son when he ended up in the ER, and I checked in with her about a year ago, and then I hadn't talked to her all this time, and she wanted to start walking, so I invited her to walk with us on Tuesday, and one thing led to another. It made me think of my grandpa, who says, the stranger is just a friend. Stranger is just a friend I haven't met yet. I love that. Hopefully my sound is good, because I'm muffled with these ear things in. It's supposed to make it clearer for you all. Hope it does. Hope it works. Hard to believe it's Thursday already. Where does the time go? Where does the week go? It just disappears. Woo, we got quinoa boiling off the stove. Turn that down a little bit. At least I'm not out in the other room watching soap operas like when I was a kid. I can remember making butterscotch pudding. Oh my God, was I in trouble. You can't put pudding on the stove, the kind you cook, and walk away. So it was burnt, and it was a mess to clean up. And we didn't have any butterscotch pudding that night. All right, I got the avocados in the food processor, and I'm going to smash them up and whirl them around to get the lumps out, and then I'm going to put the melted chocolate with the avocados. And then we'll figure out the rest of the ingredients from there. There we go. I got avocados on the countertop. I love this little food processor. It's just a little Cuisinart, but when you've got a small job and you don't want to get out the big food processor, this one works great. All right, now the chocolate goes in. That in there. I feel like I'm cooking with a doll toy when I use this little tiny food processor. When Heather and I made this for the Mount LeConte retreat, I had to like quadruple it. We used the big food processor. Whoop. All the good, delicious chocolates in there. We're going to give it another whirl. It's not at all green when it's done. I don't know a lot of people that would eat green chocolate mousse. All right, now what goes in? Then you put in the remaining ingredients. So we got 1/4 of a cup of peanut butter, and I bought smooth peanut butter just for the mousse so we don't have chunks in it like you would have if you used chunky peanut butter, because those peanuts just don't get chopped up. All right, so the peanut butter's going in there. Then the cocoa is going to go in there, and the maple syrup's going to go in there. Cocoa. Just plain old, no sugar cocoa. I'm going to do 1/4 of a cup of that. I've never found a good way to get the cocoa in the measuring cup without getting cocoa on the counter. All right, that goes in there. I'm using the same one the peanut butter was in, so it's kind of stuck. It'll work out all right. And I'm gonna crank this up and then put the maple syrup in. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Peanut butter on my finger. And then maple syrup. I like to buy this big thing at Sam's. Saves a little bit of money from buying at Kroger's. Let's see, how much does it say? 1/4 of a cup. That got the rest of everything out of the measuring cup. Put the lid on. Give it a whirl. Woo! And then the only other thing is a pinch of salt and some vanilla, and that's done. Meanwhile, I think the quinoa is about done, so we can finish the soup, and we'll be done. I'll have dessert and a meal. Let me make sure I got everything. Pinch of salt, teaspoon of vanilla. The only thing my little food processor, well, it does. It has a little tiny hole at the top where you can keep the lid on and pour stuff in, but I just take the lid off. Teaspoon of vanilla. Shake of salt. And it's done. I'm going to turn this quinoa down a little bit. Crank this up one more time. And then I'll show you. That's all done. Just like that. Oh. Get a spoon. Sorry you're not here, but there's the, you do have to get the spatula. Where is it? Got a little bit of cocoa powder on the sides. Don't want to be wasting that. And I'll have some cleanup to do here with that blade in the middle, but you have to see this. Chocolate mousse. And I am going to put it on parchment in the freezer and make little balls. Without being in the refrigerator, it's kind of the consistency of peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, when you first stir it up. If you use natural peanut butter and you mix the oil in. But it made pretty much. You could put it in individual bowls. You could put it in one big bowl. You could put it in a Ziploc bag. We've done all the above. Or you can use your little ice cream scoop. I use my one I use for cookies. Where is it? It's missing in action. Here it is. I use this, so it makes that size of a ball. It's just enough when you want some little tiny bit of something sweet. So we'll set this aside and get that in the refrigerator. Meanwhile, we're going to finish the quinoa soup. So I'm going to try to get you a little closer. You can see how super simple this is. Quinoa is already cooked while we made the mousse. What else are you going to do while you're standing here waiting for the pot to boil, right? Cup of frozen corn. That goes in there. I had 3/4 of the cup. Close enough. I could put some more in there, actually. My cup was being used with the quinoa. So I'll put a little more corn in there. If you don't like corn, you could put something else in, cheese, or just leave it out. Salsa. I'm just using this regular salsa. It calls for chunky salsa. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you have handy. We always have salsa in this house. Always. What else goes in there? Avocado. I told you it's an avocado kind of day. Cut that up and throw that in there. And then throw in some lime juice, or you can serve it with limes and cilantro on the side. I just put it in. The avocados at Kroger, they were just putting them out. They were really cold. So I left them sit on the counter all night, hoping that they would soften up some. Just put that in there. And I still have the pot boiling because I didn't check the quinoa to see if it was done. Avocado and the black beans I got to get out of the refrigerator, put those in there. That'll slow up the cooking a little bit because they're cold. Oh crap, my spoon just, yes, I said crap. My spoon just fell in the pot. So I already have my black beans drained and rinsed because like I said, I used them yesterday to make the hummus. There we go. Wow, that's hot. Put the beans in. And then I'm going to put in a tablespoon of lime juice. I think lime juice always just brightens things up. I used the same one that I used for the plant milk. I rinsed it off. It's good. It's all good. It's all going down the same place, right? And then cilantro, which I still need to chop up. And I say this every time, but here's how my cilantro lives in the refrigerator. And it's just, I take the twisty off of it and just let it be a plant in my refrigerator. And then I can just pick off what I want. It comes out really easily. Chop up a few leaves of cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you could use parsley, or you could just leave it out. I've never made it with spinach, but I bet it would be good. It would give you another layer of nutrition. And, you know, if you wanted to put other vegetables in it, you could. This soup thickens up as it cools. So when you eat it, when you first make it, it's going to be brothy. But then when you get it out of the fridge later, the quinoa sucks up all the liquid. And that's how you can eat it with chips as a dip, because it's no longer soupy. All right, it's done. Finished. I'm going to take you to see it because I don't want to spill it on my computer. There it is. All done. Some deliciousness. Guess I could put some in a bowl and eat it. Then you could see it even better. You know what else is good? Is to just crunch up a few corn chips, whether it be Fritos or like tortilla chips. They're good in there too. Now, oops, nope, that's not going to work. I almost spilled it on the keyboard. All right, I have to show it to you like that. See it? There you go. Quinoa, avocado, corn soup, and chocolate mousse. Just like that. It didn't take too long. There wasn't a whole lot to chop. And it's delicious. So if you want the recipe, put it in the comments. And the quinoa avocado soup is already at ultramarathongrandma.com. Be on the lookout for the invite and registration for the 5-day challenge, which starts August 22nd. And I'll be back next Thursday, promptly at noon. Have a great day. Bye.